number of men who lived in the early centuries did believe that God's views were always accurately interpreted by the Church. Some women knew better. This is a story about one of them. Chapter 1. England, 1206. The news was going to destroy her. Kelmot, her faithful steward and senior in charge since Baron Ralph Williamson's hasty departure from England on the King's personal business, was given the responsibility of telling his mistress the god-awful news. The servant didn't put off the dreaded task, for he guessed Lady Johanna would wish to question the two messengers before they returned to London, if his mistress could speak to anyone after she'd heard about her beloved husband. Aye. He needed to tell the gentle lady as soon as possible. Kelmot understood his duty well enough, and though he believed he was anxious to get it done, his feet still dragged as though mired in knee-deep mud as he made his way to the newly built chapel where Lady Johanna was in afternoon prayers. Father Peter McKechnie, a visiting cleric from the Maclaurin holding in the Highlands, was making his way up the steep incline from the lower bailey when Kelmot happened to spot him. The steward let out a quick sigh of relief before shouting a summons to the dour-faced priest.
"I've need of your services, McKechnie,"
Kelmot bellowed over the rising wind. The priest nodded, then scowled. He still hadn't forgiven the steward for his insulting behaviour of 2 days past.
"Are you wanting me to hear your confession?"
The priest shouted back, a hint of mockery in his thick brogue.
"Nay, father."
McKechnie shook his head.
"You've got yourself a black soul, Kelmot."
The steward made no response to the barb, but patiently waited until the dark-haired Scot had gained his side. He could see the amusement in the priest's eyes, and knew then he was jesting with him.
"There is another matter more important than my confession," Kelmot began. "I've just received word—"
The priest wouldn't let him finish his explanation.
"Today's Good Friday," he interrupted. "Nothing could be more important than that. You won't be getting communion from me come Easter morning unless you confess your sins today and beg God's forgiveness. You might begin with the distasteful sin of rudeness, Kelmot. Aye, that would be a proper start."
Kelmot held his patience.
"I gave you my apology, father, but I see that you still haven't forgiven me." "'Tis the truth, I haven't."
The steward frowned.
"As I explained yesterday and the day before, I would not allow you entrance into the keep, because I was given specific orders by Baron Ralph not to let anyone inside while he was away. I was told even to deny Lady Johanna's brother Nicholas entry, should he come calling. Father, try to understand. I'm the third steward here in less than 1 year's time, and I try only to hold on to my position longer than all the others."
McKechnie snorted. He wasn't quite through baiting the steward.
"If Lady Johanna hadn't intervened, I'd still be camped outside the walls, wouldn't I now?"
Kelmot nodded.
"Aye, you would," he admitted, "unless you gave up your vigil and returned home. I won't be going anywhere until I've spoken to Baron Ralph and set him straight about the havoc his vassal is causing on Maclaurin land. Plain murder of innocents is going on, Kelmot, but I'm praying your Baron doesn't have any idea what an evil, power-hungry man Marshal has turned out to be. I've heard it said Baron Ralph's an honourable man. I hope that praise be true, for he must right this atrocity with all possible haste. Why, even now some of the Maclaurin soldiers are turning to the bastard MacBain for assistance. Once they've given him their pledge of loyalty and named him laird, all hell's going to break free. MacBain will go to war against Marshal and every other Englishman preying on Maclaurin land. The Highland warrior is no stranger to fury or vengeance, and I'd wager my soul even Baron Ralph's hide will be in jeopardy once MacBain sees for himself the rape of the Maclaurin land by the infidels your Baron placed in charge."
Kelmot, although not personally involved in the plight of the Scots, was still caught up in the story. There was also the fact that the priest was inadvertently aiding him in putting off his dreaded task. A few more minutes surely wouldn't hurt, Kelmot thought to himself.
Are you suggesting this McBain warrior would...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.